While I was waiting at the airport for our honeymoon departure, my wife called to tell me she couldn't make it because her ex texted her about an emergency, so I hopped on another flight and sent these pics to wife, and now she is begging me to return. My wife and I got married about a month ago, and this week, we were supposed to go on our honeymoon. But while I was waiting at the airport, she just texted me that she wouldn't be able to make it because she had to attend to an emergency situation that her ex-husband had texted her about. For context, my wife is a bit of a workaholic, so she had a client meeting the morning that we were supposed to leave for our honeymoon. And since it was an important client, she had told me to get to the airport and she would drive there from her office itself. So that's why we had to come to the airport separately. I was already pretty miffed about that because I really thought that she could postpone that meeting. And then on top of that, when she texted me that she had to be with her ex because of an emergency, I just lost it. And I decided to get flight tickets for another destination, travel to be with my brother, and I did not even respond to any of her messages or apologies until yesterday. But even then, I just sent her a couple of pictures of me dancing at a club, and that's made our families very upset. Our flight was 3 days ago, and since then, she hasn't stopped apologizing. When she realized that I did not come back home when she couldn't make it to the airport, but instead took another flight and visited my brother instead. And yesterday, I was very upset about everything that was going on. So my brother took me to a club, and we ended up dancing and getting drunk, which is why I decided to click a bunch of photos of myself and then send them to her. The purpose had been to make her feel bad, but she went and told everybody in the family, and now people are scolding me because they think that it was very insensitive of me to disregard the emergency itself. For context, her ex had called her because he had tripped on something and twisted his ankle. His parents don't live in the same state as us, but I feel like he could have called his friends instead. Instead, he called my wife, his ex-wife, and she's the one who took him to the ER. Later on, after I landed, I did receive a couple of texts from her explaining the entire situation to me, but that just made me even more upset because I feel like he could have called anybody else on this planet, but he chose to call my wife, and she chose to ditch our honeymoon for this. She didn't even have the decency to call me. He had just texted me that she had to miss the flight, and she hadn't even told me about what this emergency could possibly be. She didn't feel the need to explain anything to me until she had dealt with the situation at hand, and that's what's bugging me. This is not her situation to deal with. She could have contacted any of their common friends and sent them to him. At least that's what I would have done in her place because she knows I don't like her ex. I wouldn't risk it, but everybody else says that I'm being too sensitive and my jealousy is making me look like a pathetic, insecure person right now. I don't agree with that, though. I feel like her ex should have called somebody else for help, and my wife shouldn't have gone, especially at the cost of our honeymoon. But given the reaction of both our families, I'm afraid that I might have gone a little too overboard with my behavior toward her. So, Ida for being mad at my wife for skipping our honeymoon so she could be with her ex for a medical emergency? Update 1. Okay. I did not want to speak to my in-laws right now because things are pretty heated, but I did explain the situation to my family. I've already been very upset with my wife for the past couple of days because I feel